Hi, my name is Joe Malecki. I'm from Utica National Insurance Group, and I'm so excited to have this opportunity to participate in the Navient Summit. And it's really quite an honor because I hold them in very high regard. And we're talking about my favorite topic, which is OnBase. And I admit it, I'm a nerd, have been for many years, but I'm willing to talk OnBase to anybody who listens. So you're my captive audience, and I hope that you'll listen to me now. As I said, I'm from the Utica National Insurance Group, and Utica National started out in 1914 as the Utica Mutual Insurance Compensation Insurance Corporation, selling primarily just workers' compensation. Over the years, they grew, had many offices around New York State. But in 1928, they couldn't quite reach all the people they wanted to, so they became an independent agency system, and that's where they are today. And what I mean by that is our agents sell a Utica National Insurance. They don't have to sell Utica National Insurance. They choose to, and they choose to because of the service that we provide. Fast forward 108 years, we are the Utica National Insurance Group. And of course, Utica Mutual is still in the mix. Utica Mutual is the principal member of the Utica National Insurance Group. And here you can see our 10 different companies that we own. For example, Founders Insurance in Michigan. And we've got Graphic Arts Mutual. I believe that the Utica National is the largest insurer in the graphic arts industry. Yeah. So our home office now is located in New Hartford, New York. We've got a very nice complex. We also have 7 regional offices scattered around the United States to service those people. Utica National employs more than 1,300 people countrywide. And we reached a milestone about 3 years ago when we crossed $1 billion in annual direct written premium. All this is going to tie back together with OnBase, I promise. We are one of the top 100 property and casualty insurers in the country, and we were named the top insurance workplace by Insurance Business America magazine 4 years running. Now, we've been a customer of OnBase since 2005, and we initially deployed OnBase in our commercial lines underwriting and services departments. And after the system was completed and we were able to settle in a little bit and started playing with things, we found that we could leverage the different features of OnBase to exceed our original expectations of what we thought the software could do for our company. And all of a sudden, you know, these light bulbs are going off, and I couldn't sleep at night. You know, it's so exciting to see what we could do with the tools we had back then even. We worked with our reseller and Highland Software to develop a custom integration with Duck Creek. We were one of the first people to do that. So it was really groundbreaking, and we were recognized for it, and I appreciate that. Since commercial lines, we've expanded OnBase to our personal lines and credit and collections. And I have to tell you, a real game changer, talking about excitement with what we could do with OnBase, was when they switched over to a .NET platform, and all of a sudden, this was a game changer because we could write any kind of anything that OnBase was incapable of doing. If we were able to program it using other software, we could compile that software into DLLs, and we could reference it from within a Unity script. I mean, this is like, you know, mind blowing. When I heard about this at the annual conference, I literally wanted to just run home and tell people about it because it just would open all these doors. And naturally, our sophistication of our workflows has grown year over year. You know, I like to say that we can do anything with OnBase, but I guess I should probably add the caveat that just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it. I mean, we have to worry about things like expense and value for what we do. I still think it's cool, every bit of it. So I have to tell you, you know, OnBase was going very strong through Utica National. Many years, many upgrades, everything went fine. But I don't know that it necessarily got its due or its recognition within the company. I think people may have kind of taken it for granted. It's just a document repository. But we had a failed upgrade, and this resulted in a catastrophic problem for our company. We literally could not do business. And I mean, it was serious. We got through it. It took 6 weeks, you know, 12-hour days. But I think in the post-mortem, I think it opened a lot of eyes and people realized what a significant role OnBase plays in our organization. We really would be lost without it. And, subsequent to that, I think we've got more people on our development teams. We've got more attention being paid to things like maintenance. And it's my job's a lot easier. And I really appreciate that. In 2021, we added a separate and completely distinct OnBase system for our claims processing with Navient. We're so excited about this, and it's working out really, really well. And they're actually more advanced than our base system, if you will, that we have, because they're using WorkView and some really, really cool features that I wish we can have, and I hope we will have them someday. So the original OnBase system is now known as Underwriting OnBase. So a lot of my comments will be related to the Underwriting OnBase. And today our Underwriting OnBase system is a document repository for all commercial lines of business. It also handles all business workflow processing for our various teams. I told you I wouldn't use acronyms, but you got the PIC team is the Policy Imaging Center. These, somebody's got to scan this stuff. And our personal lines department also uses OnBase as an endorsement workflow for endorsement workflow processing and also for premium audit. Some statistics about our system. Today, we've got more than 70 million documents in OnBase. We've got 552 document types, and there's more coming. 590 keywords. I know, kind of mind-blowing. 106 Unity scripts. That seems like a big number, but actually that's gone down from what we've had, because every version of OnBase, they're able to do some more things. And, we use our scripts to kind of supplement what OnBase could do, and a lot more stuff is built in now. So we're down, I'll say we're down to 106 Unity scripts. We've got 51 active life cycles. Some of those life cycles are interact with people, but we also have life cycles that no person ever touches. They're fully for automation and for supporting some of our other life cycles. 460 queues and 243,000 documents currently in workflow. That just boggles my mind with 1,300 employees. On average, we have about 800 users per day. Sometimes that will go up. So the business problems, why do we bring OnBase, or really what does OnBase solve for us in terms of business problems? Well, Utica National, the size of our company we're not huge. We're decent size, but we face a constant challenge to remain competitive among the large insurance companies or carriers who have huge resources at their disposal. So, what it comes down to is, the speed to market, the agility to react quickly, the ability to make smart business decisions. These are the equalizers. These give us a chance to compete. And I have to say that OnBase has proven useful in all three of those areas. As a matter of fact, I've said it before and I'll say it again, that there is no doubt in my mind that we would not be where we are today were it not in part for OnBase. I mean, it's really done wonderful things for us. And we're just scratching the surface. Another key factor in remaining profitable is controlling underwriting and operational expense. Well, obviously, you can say, well, we're not going to splurge on this or that, but ultimately it comes down to efficiency. How efficiently can your workers process? And, we've got less employees today than we had before OnBase, but our company is many times bigger. It's because of efficiencies gained through OnBase and workflows. So we chose OnBase initially because of the robust features offered in terms of ingesting and indexing documents, ease of retrieval, and a suite of automation tools that are relatively easy to configure. That last part, relatively easy to configure, that was really something, because all of a sudden we could take people who were non-programmers and they could actually configure a workflow. Might not be as good, but they could do it. And perhaps we could clean it up a little bit, make it a little bit more efficient. But it's helpful, because when we get requirements come down from the business system, they know enough about OnBase from using it and the basic configuration that they can tell us what they want. And then we'll go and actually do the nuts and bolts programming for them. I have to say Navient was new to us at Utica National because we worked with our previous reseller for 16 years and developed quite a relationship. And we weren't sure what to expect. But I have to say that I very soon realized that Navient would elevate our experience. I mean, nothing against our former reseller. This is just bigger, more resources available. And we actually got eager and excited to work with Navient. And as I said before, I'm a real nerd when it comes to OnBase, and I will talk to anybody who will listen about OnBase. And I like to work with companies that like the products that they're selling. And Navient likes OnBase, obviously, and they stand behind it. And so I think on some levels, we probably share that same passion and excitement. What contributed to the success of our initial implementation? Well, I'd have to say it really was strong buy-in and a high level of participation from services and underwriting management teams, along with several SMEs. And we also had the full support of our CIO at the time. Now, mind you, this is the time when ECM was not very prevalent, right? So this was something totally new for us. We had only just a few years before this gone to Windows and taught people how to use a mouse, you know? So this was big. It's really big for us and a big step, and very excited about it. Everybody was excited to see what we could do with it. And as the system matured, everybody, other departments saw it, and they thought, "Oh, I want that. What can you do for us?" And we started to get invited to other team meetings to just kind of pick our brains about what we might be able to do for them. The insurance industry is risk opposed, you know, so they don't move too fast on anything. But they watched us. They watched, and they learned, and they asked us to help them. So some of the benefits and ROI, I couldn't tell you the ROI at this point. I mean, my gosh, we've got no more worries about documents gone missing. I mean, in the old days, you know, somebody could have a claim and say, well, who's got such and such file? You know, where is this thing? And check your desk. It's got to be someplace. And people are running around, and none of that anymore. We also had so many documents that we couldn't fit them in our buildings, so we had to store them off-site. So we had to have couriers who say, "Oh, we need this file," and send somebody down, you know, across the city to go get a file and bring it back to us. And obviously, that's gone away now. I also like the fact that the system can grow horizontally, you know, as we need, so rather than vertically. So as we gain customers or more documents, need file servers, we just spread them out horizontally. It's very nice, very easy, and we use a load balancer to balance between our application servers. Oh, here we are, our load balancing workflow queues. From a departmental work group standpoint, these are a key component to success of workflow. You know, we've got 2,000 documents in a queue. People need to be able to filter to have just what they need to be working on. Plus, and there are various types of load balancing, you know, even new stuff with roles. If somebody's going to be out for a week, you know, can we assign it to somebody else, and so on and so forth, and the ability to keep those, keep everything moving. Return on investment has contributed greatly to the ability of Utica National to significantly grow its business without necessarily growing FTEs. And I think I've said this before, that it really has been a major contributor. And during the past 5 years, Utica National has achieved major milestones in terms of growth and industry recognition. And as I said before, we are bigger and more successful than any time in our history. Yet we do it with significantly fewer employees than we needed prior to the introduction of OnBase. Future plans. Well, we're currently working on a proof of concept for implementing OnBase within our human resources department. Now, I know that this would be a natural fit. We're going to have to sell them on that, though. I've seen things out of the box and seen what other companies are doing. You may know that yourself. But we recognize great opportunity in human resources and also within our accounting department. I'd love to get OnBase in there. In the future, we're going to look for ways to leverage OnBase for more direct interaction with our agent customers for a greater ease of doing business with Utica National. I mentioned before that agents don't have to work with Utica National. They choose to work with Utica National. So anything that we can do to make their experience better, more efficient is we're going to try to do that. And that's it for me. I just want to say thank you so much for letting me have my time to talk about OnBase. I'm very excited about it, and I very much appreciate Navient. The people that we work with there have been just tremendous, you know, and the resources that they have. We really want to take advantage of them. And I might add one more thing. You know, no matter what your organization is, no matter what your industry is, whether it be healthcare, you know, law enforcement, government, so on and so forth, we all serve somebody. And the extent to which we're able to serve them efficiently, we're going to do a much better job. And I would tell you that within your own organization, you're going to find some people who are nerds like me in your company, and they may just be regular rank and file workers, but you want to nurture those people. Let them run. Let them go to Navient's site and look at some of those videos. Let them go onto Hyland's site and look at videos to learn, because you will develop people who will be very influential for the others around them, and you'll have better buy-in from your departments. So that's all I have to say about that. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, joseph.malecki@uticanational.com, or you can get to me through Navient. But thank you very much for your time.